And we are live. Hello and welcome, everyone. I am Tech Chariot, and we have another episode from the King of Ireland tournament. Today's set will be out of the bronze division. We'll be seeing Sorrentine versus L-Phanto. So these are both streamers. Sorrentine, of course, well known among the German Age of Empires community. She is a German streamer, and L-Phanto is a Uruguayan streamer who is living in Scotland currently. In terms of seeding, these players are at... I have my seating document up. Well, we'll just have to open it then. Bear with me here for just one sec. Here we go. In terms of seating, both of these players are between 1,000 and 1,100 ELO, if memory serves. We'll see where they are on the document. Got the cat here. He is my first viewer. He is in a playful mood, though. He was purring earlier. He loves to play cat and mouse, and sometimes he's the cat and sometimes he's the mouse. Alright, here we go. So we've got L-Phanto here coming in at calculated 1028, an average between highest and current. Highest ever and current. And Sorrentine at 1182, so it's about a 100 ELO difference between these two. But we'll see if L-Phanto can pull off an upset. So the first map of every set is Irish Arabia. Let us begin. Sorrentine is playing in the north here. Sorrentine is the Cyan Persians. Sorrentine says good luck, have fun. And L-Phanto here in the southeast playing as the Blue Lithuanians. It is important to remember that Irish Arabia is different from traditional Arabia in that the woodlines are much more numerous, but they are thinner, which means that they are generally easier to wall, but the entirety of a woodline can be ranged by feudal age archers. The deer are closer on Irish Arabia, but the secondary golds and stones are further away. So the deer are going to be inside of this woodline completely. So the woodline being easier to wall means that scouts are generally less powerful on this map, but archers are more powerful. Scouts are more powerful late game, however, because the map is very, very open. There are small patches of trees, not that many trees out here, all things considered. And of course we have the EIRE branding in the center and the Celtic knot. Let's turn it up a little bit. So, Persians versus Lithuanians. Before we discuss that Civ matchup, though, let's take a look at the maps. Sorrentine's map is not that great. I've seen worse, but Sorrentine has forward gold and forward-ish stone. If L-Phanto wanted to, he could build a tower here and a tower here and deny all of Sorrentine's minerals. L-Phanto's map, his gold is not too terrible. It's toward the back here. I guess if L-Phanto tried to wall this off, but even still, this is kind of an annoying little nook here that Sorrentine could build a tower or send archers to range L-Phanto's gold. So L-Phanto has 3 on wood. This is telling me that he is going for a scouts build. He is bringing the boar in now. In terms of idle time, both players doing really well with L-Phanto having 0 idle time. That is insanely good for this level. Sorrentine with 1 second, which is... This idle time is better than Tech Chariot idle time. Let me tell you what. And I'm supposed to be a much better player than these folks. So I'm really impressed by the idle time so far. 4 minutes into the game. So we have 4 on wood for Sorrentine and 3 on wood for L-Phanto. So this tells me that L-Phanto is going for scouts and Sorrentine is going for not scouts. Scouts could be hard to pull off on this map. L-Phanto's going to need a very clean build, and he's going to need to go very fast scouts. But if there's one civ that can do it, it's the Lithuanians. The Lithuanians, starting with the extra food, maybe helping L-Phanto a little bit, minimize his town center idle time. L-Phanto is getting up a mill now. Both players are at 16 pop, including the scout. Let's see what their scouting information tells them. So Sorrentine has scouted her entire base. She has found all of her sheep, which are generally just outside this ring of wood, and is now going and looking for L-Phanto. Not going to find him, though, because L-Phanto's over here. She'll find him eventually, I'm sure. L-Phanto is still scouting the map. He has scouted his entire base, and now he is headed out. He may want to head out more toward this corner here. And it looks like he's doing that now. So both players are roughly equal scouting. I would say this is a competitive matchup for now. L-Phanto, he's been on vacation. He's from Uruguay, but he's been working and studying in Scotland. We have a second lumber camp for L-Phanto. But he just recently took a trip back to Uruguay to see his family and friends, so he hasn't played Age of Empires for a month. Okay, L-Phanto coming in on the Circle of the Wood now. And he is going to find Sorrentine. Found a house, found a mill, capturing some sheep. L-Phanto panicking around that town center fire and losing his scout there. So, unfortunately for L-Phanto, he knows where the berries are and he knows where the town center is, and that's it. Had he just kept going, though, his scout actually would have survived. What does Sorrentine know? So Sorrentine has found L-Phanto's wood line. And L-Phanto is going to challenge this scout here. These villagers are not loomed, so he's going to need several of them to get the scout to back away. It's kind of funny. Okay, so L-Phanto starting on a wall. Villagers walled himself out. He'll have to come around. You can wall this map relatively easily as long as you make sure that you check for holes. Because there are a lot of small patches and scrubs and reeds and bushes and all sorts of eye candy foliage. Makes it hard to tell exactly that you have it closed off. But you can always click outside. What is this? How did I miss this? Sorrentine is drushing L-Phanto. Sorrentine has 2-3 militia coming out across the map, along with the scout. L-Phanto could be in trouble here. He doesn't see this coming, which he's not going to because he lost his scout. So, where is Sorrentine going to enter the base, though, is the question. It always makes me so happy to see Dark Age aggression on this map. A lot of people say this map is too closed for Dark Age aggression, and I kind of mostly agree with that. If Sorrentine had tried to come in this way, she would have gotten in, but it looks like she's not going to get in, although I don't know if this is open. So Sorrentine coming here to the palisades and finding L-Phanto has closed it off now. Sorrentine is working on closing the map up herself. It would be nice to wall off like this so that a lumber camp here couldn't be ranged by archers. L-Phanto has reached the feudal age now, probably be putting down a stable, and it looks like Sorrentine has found a way in through here. L-Phanto getting a house up just in time. But the militia coming around, oh, disaster, was not quite enough. And the scout goes down to the town center arrow fire, but these militia are in. So L-Phanto is going to need to build another stable. He has the wood for it. He deletes a section of palisade wall, and he's headed out. So what's the plan here, L-Phanto? Forward stable? Oh, he's chopping some wood. So Sorrentine has taken L-Phanto off of this lumber camp, which is, I guess, is a win for Sorrentine. Probably justifies the investment in these militia. Sorrentine a little bit of extra wood, though. I'd like to see Sorrentine drop a mill on these deer and take these deer, as well as put down a market blacksmith, but Sorrentine instead opting for an archery range, which is an interesting choice. Okay, Sorrentine could lame the deer here. Will Sorrentine lame the deer? No, Sorrentine marches past the deer. So L-Phanto coming out now to gold. He's going to have to be careful. Sorrentine's man-at-arms, though, are diving the town center. Maybe not intentionally, but L-Phanto doesn't notice, and these just walk right by. So L-Phanto has gotten his stable up. He is now starting to make scouts. Sorrentine is running around in L-Phanto's base. Tell me L-Phanto has loom, at least. Yes, he does. So villagers can actually fight back militia. They're pretty much equivalent statistically in terms of attack and armor and such. It's just militia auto-attack, which is why it's really annoying to micro against it. And L-Phanto actually with the quick walls here, walling out Sorrentine's militia, but oh no! L-Phanto. The militia still get in. L-Phanto has to bring this villager back. And these militia are really paying off for Sorrentine. Sorrentine getting one villager kill. So L-Phanto is moving out across the map with some villagers. I'm not sure where he's going with these. What is Sorrentine still walking around with the militia? L-Phanto's got a couple of scouts out, but he's not moving to do anything with them. Okay, market coming up for L-Phanto. Idle TC, Sorrentine has 1 minute of town center idle time, and L-Phanto has about 2 minutes of town center idle time. So that would put Sorrentine about 2 villagers ahead of L-Phanto, which is about right. Blacksmith coming up for Sorrentine. Archers are coming out across the map now. L-Phanto finding this archer with his own villagers, but he's too busy dealing with this drush to notice. L-Phanto wants to get this walled up, and Sorrentine wants to prevent L-Phanto from walling this. This is where Sorrentine intends for her archers to enter L-Phanto's base. So meanwhile, L-Phanto is in on Sorrentine's woodline. Will the scouts get a villager kill? Sorrentine does not have... Does she have loom? No, she does have loom. So L-Phanto gets 1 villager kill and takes Sorrentine off of wood. L-Phanto needs to get out of here, though. Cannot survive much more town center arrow fire than that. So L-Phanto, alright, got a little bit of revenge. Eco KD is 4-3, so villagers have been going down on both sides. Sorrentine has a spearman out. Finally fights off L-Phanto's scout raid. Okay, L-Phanto has seen this villager. He is bringing him around. And what is the plan from L-Phanto? So that's what L-Phanto spent all of his food on. So L-Phanto putting down an archery range of his own. Probably thinking, I need to make skirmishers to keep these archers away. Since Sorrentine can easily add spearmen to counter L-Phanto's scouts. Okay, both players are pretty far away from the castle age. Sorrentine is getting the archer armor, so probably expecting the archers to be maybe in an archer fight or against skirmishers. L-Phanto finally returning out to this woodline. So far L-Phanto has lost 6 villagers and Sorrentine has lost 3. So it's been a pretty brutal fight. Sorrentine is in on this woodline, or this gold again, harassing L-Phanto's villagers. L-Phanto finally deciding to fight this micro the villager back. Can he kill? He kills a militia. There is an archer here helping out. L-Phanto needs to kill this last militia and then get back on gold. But his attention is elsewhere as he is walling over here. The woodlines on Irish Arabia are very bad. And this is a lot of feudal aggression for the Bronze Division, I have to say. I'm really impressed at these players playing aggressive on this map. A lot of other players would have just walled up and gone FC. So L-Phanto's archer going down. He is going to need fletching in order to even consider competing with Sorrentine right now. And Sorrentine archers are in on L-Phanto's gold. L-Phanto sees it in time, though. Pulls everybody out. L-Phanto waiting for Sorrentine to go away so he can send his villagers back on gold, but Sorrentine is not going to go away. At least not yet. Look at this. Sorrentine is on her way to the Castle Age. 42 pop. L-Phanto is at 34 pop. Has had 4 minutes of town center idle time. So L-Phanto is really struggling here with the early pressure. And this is why Sorrentine has such a large villager advantage over L-Phanto. Okay. L-Phanto going castle now himself. Lithuanian skirmishers fast, though. Sorrentine isn't going to be able to run from this. These skirmishers lacking all the upgrades. They don't have range, they don't have armor. And Sorrentine has all the upgrades and is in fact microing against the skirmisher. I'm not really sure this is worth Sorrentine's time. Not when there's only one of them. So knights are going to become the play here as soon as both players reach castle age. And we can see that Sorrentine is already building 2 stables. So L-Phanto fought off Sorrentine, but at great cost. Not so much in villager losses, but just in the amount of idle time. L-Phanto getting kind of frazzled, I think. Maybe the pressure got to him. Wasn't able to keep his town center working for a while. But Castle Age will be here for L-Phanto pretty soon. He will have the resources to make some knights. Sorrentine getting the armor upgrade for knights. This is the Castle Age armor upgrade. And let's see, probably got some knights streaming across the map now. Here's one. Knights in both stables. Oh, Sorrentine has queued up a camel. That's smart. If you see that your opponent is Castle Age, you can expect the Lithuanians to make knights. And indeed, that is what L-Phanto is doing. Since L-Phanto is Lithuanians, he's going to want to secure relics, but Sorrentine is a little bit ahead of him in that too. Sorrentine already has a monastery up, and a monk moving across the map. Right here. So a couple of L-Phanto knights are engaged against Sorrentine's knights. There's one of Sorrentine's knights down, but now he's outnumbered. So he is going to have to run. L-Phanto getting the first armor upgrade for his knights. He'll need 2 armor upgrades to even compete with Sorrentine. He'll probably need pikemen here. Sorrentine can make camels pretty easily. Sorrentine deciding, let's end this. So building a forward siege workshop, I like it. You see a lot of forward siege workshops on this map. A lot of people, I'm not necessarily saying L-Phanto does this, but a lot of people get lulled into this false sense of security because they have this ring of trees around their base. So another barracks going up for L-Phanto, and pikemen coming in. So yeah, he knows. Sees the camels and says, I have no answer for camels except pikemen or mass archers. And I like the idea of pikemen better. So he has pikemen researching and then 4 queued behind that technology, making pikemen out of this barracks as well. Monastery going down for L-Phanto. Sorrentine has added another town center. So Sorrentine feeling a little bit ahead, don't need to go all in. The pressure that I have here is sufficient. Sorrentine at 57 villagers to L-Phanto's 39. Then we have a couple pikemen coming up, but it's not enough. So L-Phanto is going to need to repair this barracks and then set a rally point behind it so that he can amass pikemen. We have another monastery coming down for L-Phanto. Sorrentine's cavalry is in, though. Monks queued up in this monastery. In both monasteries. L-Phanto putting down a 3rd panic monastery, but he just doesn't have the critical mass of monks necessary. Gets a conversion on a camel, but there's just too much cavalry here. And L-Phanto calls the GG. Sorrentine is up 1-0. Well played from both players. L-Phanto. He's been on vacation for a while, but not bad. Good decision making from someone that's been on vacation. And just Sorrentine with the better macro here. Able to pressure L-Phanto and keep the town center working, which is important. So let's see what we got for game 2. L-Phanto. His home map is Tullyhoe, as they call it in Ireland. He is playing as the Incas. Sorrentine is playing as the Khmer on this map. So this yurt, L-Phanto has already deleted the yurt. This yurt provides 10 population space, but it drains your gold. So notice how Sorrentine's gold is going down. It's because Sorrentine hasn't deleted the yurt yet. So you have to make the choice between idle time and gold supply. And Sorrentine's saying, well, I don't want idle time. You start with 11 villagers. The yurt supports 10 population, and the town center supports 5. So it's 15 pop, but if you delete your yurt, you've only got 5, and then you're mega housed. So L-Phanto here is going to be mega housed. Oh, wait a second, he's the Incas. So houses provide more population. Interesting. So L-Phanto only about 1 villager behind in terms of idle time. He's getting loom now. So, wow, nice. I did not think about that. So he only needed to build 1 house. That's why he chose the Inca. So L-Phanto has 130 gold, Sorrentine's 97. And Sorrentine hasn't gotten loom yet either. So Sorrentine's going to get loom before her gold drops too low. House coming up for Sorrentine. So Sorrentine should build some more houses pretty quickly. Yeah, and then delete that yurt. Sorrentine is housed. So what can we expect to see here? Incas versus Khmer. Well, I don't really understand Khmer on this map. I'm not going to lie. I'll have to ask Sorrentine about it sometime. See why she chose Khmer. I have an idea, actually. Maybe the reason Sorrentine chose Khmer is so that she can make ballista elephants and cut through these tree walls to the goodies on the outside. You don't know if there's going to be stone. You don't know if there are going to be relics here. So these maps are inspired by Tullyhoe Fort in Northern Ireland. It was the coronation site of the O'Neill chiefs. Now this standing stone doesn't exist anymore. After Hugh O'Neill unsuccessfully rebelled against England in the early 1600s, the English chased him back up here and smashed this stone to pieces to show him that they were in power, and he wasn't. And it worked. The Irish would not gain independence for 300 more years at least. So Sorrentine putting up another couple houses. Sorrentine having housing problems, although L-Phanto has had more town center idle time for whatever reason. Could just be coming back from not playing the game for a while. So this is a Pike Siege map. You don't know if you're going to get the stone. It doesn't look like either player has built a lumber camp on the goody corners. So it looks like neither player is going to try to chop through to the outside to get either the relics or the stone. So because there's not a lot of stone available, you could even consider something like mangonels and pikemen. Usually you don't see that sort of army composition until late game. But it is technically the most efficient, and this is a relatively closed map. And it has a gold rush feel to it because of all these gold piles in the center. So Sorrentine already on the way up to the feudal age. at 21 pop, 22 pop, and L-Phanto is at, wait a second, Sorrentine has military? Oh, Sorrentine built a barracks. What a pleb I am. So Sorrentine has a militia here. Let's see what Sorrentine knows. Sorrentine drushing. Sorrentine always wants to drush. Figures, I drushed L-Phanto last time and it worked really well. I'm going to drush him again. So L-Phanto has the, or had the food to click up. I want to see L-Phanto click up to the next stage soon. So Sorrentine has deleted her yurt. So the yurt is no longer draining Sorrentine's coffers. And Sorrentine has 2 on gold somewhere. Right here. So Sorrentine already on the gold in the middle. But Pike Siege, generally the most efficient. Nope, Sorrentine going man-at-arms this time. Unit composition in closed map situations. Now, Khmer are not known for their Pike Siege, not really. I mean, they've got good Scorpions, I guess. You could make an argument for it. But their Halberdiers are missing the final armor upgrade. And I don't think they get Champion. I think they only get Two-Handed Swordsman. So Man-at-Arms is in for Sorrentine. L-Phanto just clicking up to the Feudal Age now. And if L-Phanto isn't careful, he's going to lose some villagers to this. Sorrentine finding the berries. And this lady has to get out of here. I don't know. L-Phanto does have Loom. And his villagers will be affected by blacksmith upgrades. But not yet. That doesn't happen until Castle Age. So these villagers have to flee. And Sorrentine is going to find L-Phanto's town center the hard way. With a face full of arrows. Okay, so these man-at-arms, 2 of them are quite weak now. There is 1 full HP man-at-arms for Sorrentine. So Sorrentine knows where L-Phanto's base is now. L-Phanto putting up a barracks. Sorrentine did take L-Phanto off of these berries, which could be considered a win. Because where is L-Phanto going to get food now? He's kind of close to the Castle Age, but he wasn't planning on abandoning the berries. So I'd like to see a market and blacksmith come down from L-Phanto, and he should have the wood and stuff to buy his way to the Castle Age. Sorrentine isn't really close. So L-Phanto reaching the Feudal Age, what is he going to do with it? L-Phanto has some more villagers in queue, but we need buildings, L-Phanto. Here we go, he's making an archery range. Here come the man-at-arms. L-Phanto is Incas, so he's making a blacksmith and then quick walling a house here. Sorrentine could actually attack this house and destroy it pretty quickly. But instead deciding to go for this archery range, L-Phanto not here quite fast enough. L-Phanto should just fight this, though. Well, he should get this lady out of here and then peck off Sorrentine's man-at-arms. L-Phanto, garrison the town center. Garrison the town center. Okay, Sorrentine's man-at-arms. Somehow... Okay, all 3 of them go down. So, L-Phanto has dealt with that. We're rooting for L-Phanto this game, because we want to see a 3rd game. At least I am. You can root for whoever you want, all you Sorrentine fans out there. I'll tell you what, though, I am actually a big Sorrentine fanboy myself. What I like about Sorrentine is that it's not just about the money to her. Like, it seems like when I watch Sorrentine play Age of Empires, it's like Sorrentine is actually enjoying playing Age of Empires, instead of just playing Age of Empires to entertain folks who will throw money at her. Okay, so L-Phanto opting for the eco upgrades. He says they did disturb, though. He's right. But Sorrentine, one of the nicest streamers I've ever met. Just randomly joining the Irish Discord saying, hey, I heard you guys worked really hard on something. I'd like to help you. I'd like to help support you. And we were like, yeah, we'd love to have you in the tournament. Okay, so Sorrentine got a ball of archers here. 3 archers and 2 skirmishers, in fact. And this shepherd fleeing with his sheep. Maybe L-Phanto will delete a house or something so the sheep can get in, but I don't think so. This villager is going to be a sacrificial villager. Head towards Sorrentine's base, maybe, and keep these other archers busy. We don't see the Khmer go archers very often. I think they're missing some upgrades for archers, so I think that's why. That and archers don't really fill a good role for the Khmer. Seems like everything that archers could do, Khmer Siege could do better. So L-Phanto milling the sheep and the deer over here. So he is getting the armor upgrade for 2 archers. And he's taking wood here. He may have to abandon this wood line pretty quick. Sorrentine is going to find it. L-Phanto has an idle villager up here, and it looks like L-Phanto has started a sneak lumber camp in the north. L-Phanto is going to start chopping away at the tree wall here to see what goodies lie on the other side. The goodies are far enough away to exceed the vision of a Mongol scout in feudal age and a Byzantine outpost. So you really do have to chop through to know what you're doing. A Byzantine outpost, that is, with, like, town watch. Maybe I think if you were Ethiopians and you paid food for town watch and you built an outpost right here, you might be able to see this. I don't know. Sorrentine just helping herself to L-Phanto's base. He hasn't really walled constructively here. And L-Phanto, where's all your food, L-Phanto? Okay, it's in these skirmishers. It's in these skirmishers, and he's got the villager in queue. Sorrentine running into the town center. L-Phanto bringing these villagers back. So he now has the skirms to deal with this. At least 4 skirms to deal with that. And Sorrentine on the prowl outside of L-Phanto's base. L-Phanto has 2.5 minutes of town center idle time. More than that, actually. So, naturally, Sorrentine is a few villagers ahead. 5 villagers ahead, actually. Sorrentine has some pretty hefty town center idle time herself as well, though. Sorrentine hasn't really walled either, but Khmer villagers can hop inside houses if they're threatened, so that helps them if they're being raided. And Sorrentine getting the archer armor to help her archers withstand these skirmishers as well. A big fight going on here, and L-Phanto does manage to clean that up. L-Phanto has 712 gold. He is on gold somewhere. It's not there. Where did L-Phanto get all that gold from? Must have been here. He must have been taking gold here. L-Phanto has the gold and wood to make like 60 archers. But he needs to rebalance his eco. He's building a market to do so. If he rebalances his eco, he can click up. You start with extra stone on this map. But L-Phanto building his town center doesn't require as much stone to do so. So he actually has more stone than Sorrentine. But Sorrentine is going to be clicking up to the Castle Age here pretty soon. Sorrentine actually has Castle Age queued behind Wheelbarrow. So L-Phanto cannot afford to delay. The good news for L-Phanto is that these farms have been built really quickly. So therefore nothing. Yeah, it's such an adorable team bonus for Inca. That you call that a team bonus. They need something different for Inca for a team bonus. Maybe something like farms getting bonus food if they're built on elevation. That could be pretty cool for Inca. Be situational. But, I mean, the Portuguese have a team bonus that's not even useful in 1v1s. Okay, so Sorrentine has built a couple more stables, or a couple stables, and is building a mill on these berries, and is researching Castle Age, and is kind of close to being there, about 1 minute and 20 off. So L-Phanto is on his way to the Castle Age too, but if Sorrentine gets Castle and rolls some knights out, L-Phanto's going to be in big trouble. I don't think L-Phanto has scouted Sorrentine. I really like the choice of Inca though on this map. I think it's better than a lot of people give it credit for. So let's see what L-Phanto knows. L-Phanto does not know that Sorrentine has built stables. Oh boy. So the question is L-Phanto, he's taking advantage of cleaning up Sorrentine's army. He should be suspicious. He should be like, where's Sorrentine's stuff? Sorrentine hasn't attacked me lately. What's going on? And go over there and check it out. But he's going to see Castle Age here and swallow a big lump in his throat. Because Castle Age, he's going to know Castle Age means knights. But L-Phanto isn't making, or Sorrentine isn't making knights. Sorrentine is getting Bodkin and the crossbow upgrade. But has built a 3rd stable. So, I mean, this is 10 archers. I don't know if it's worth it. If you're not going to continue into archers, maybe Sorrentine will. I don't know. I don't understand it. I would totally pump knights out of 4 stables or 3 stables if I can't afford 4 at this point. If I know my opponent isn't Castle Age yet. But in Feudal Age, you don't have many good options to deal with knights. I guess you can go Mass Spearman. It's just about the best you can do. But even then, it's not that great. Okay, so Elite Skirmisher coming in for L-Phanto. He hasn't even seen these crossbowmen yet. Oh, okay. It's going to be Light Cav. It's going to be Light Cav and crossbowmen for Sorrentine. And these Light Cav are going to eat up Skirmisher Javelins like they're nothing. So, let's see. L-Phanto losing 1 villager here. And I think this lady's going to get away. L-Phanto, these villagers have nowhere to go for him. So he's probably going to get trapped in here. Maybe he'll delete the house to flee, but I don't think so. No, he's just going to go through an opening. These Light Cav are in on L-Phanto's base. L-Phanto is 10 villagers behind. Has managed to kill a Light Cav, but there are 2 more over here. They are hunting, and they have found some villagers. So the eco damage is quite large. This raid is devastating for L-Phanto. He's fighting off this Light Cav. He's got archers and skirmishers pecking away at it. Light Cav being produced from Sorrentine stables, so it's Light Cav and crossbows. So L-Phanto has cleaned this back here. Sorrentine's Light Cav is taking... Alright, well maybe this Light Cav won't take too much damage from the town center. But so many holes in the walls for L-Phanto. I feel that if he were properly walled, he could have mounted defense against this. But 2.6k wood and 69 gold and 341 food. It's just not a good eco balance. So L-Phanto just under a lot of pressure. He does have Spearmen out now to deal with this. I'm worried that he might be just too hurt from these raids. The Spearmen are coming this way, and the Skirmishers are being massacred by scouts. Sorrentine's archers are under the town center. I wonder if she knows about that. Probably not, because they're still dying. Okay, she just found out. Okay, L-Phanto coming into the goodie box now. I think he's really excited to see what he can get here, hoping to find something to turn it around. Hopefully he doesn't lose any villagers here. Now, you cannot wall these forests once they've been chopped away, but you can wall just inside. So L-Phanto is, if he hasn't already, he has not discovered the relics yet. Okay, so he is going to wall this, keep the villagers safe, and he is going to find the relics at this point. So L-Phanto taking completely out of the center. Sorrentine has free range over this area. Hey, John CZ3, welcome. What up, what up? Inca and Khmer. What a very interesting matchup. I think Inca make a lot of sense on this map, actually. But we've got L-Phanto and Sorrentine. And Sorrentine's about 100 elo ahead of L-Phanto, and L-Phanto hasn't played in a month. So it's been kind of a rough game for him. A rough 2 games. But we really appreciate L-Phanto signing up for the tournament as he builds a town center over here. Interesting. He's fighting off the wolves, losing a villager to wild animals. It's never fun. But he wants something safe. He wants something that Sorrentine can't continue to raid. So all the crossbowmen are gone. Sorrentine no longer making them. Sorrentine is going to make siege and cavalry at this point. I think the Inca have a lot of potential on this map. L-Phanto had the chance to practice a little bit, shake off the rust. He could have taken it to Sorrentine in this game, because I think Inca are a great fit for this map. Khmer not as much. Khmer like their open maps, I feel. But I can see why Sorrentine would choose Khmer as well. Just, I personally prefer Incas. That's just me, though. Okay, so now the town center is being pummeled by mangonels. Cavalry are preparing to dive. Well, they can't really dive too badly, because then they're going to get flattened by mangonels.